I'm so glad to see that everybody, 50% of you selected the right answer. It's 40% is how much food is wasted in 2020. We want to take a systemic view today in our discussions and in our approach that really we've gotten over the years in this habit of going with a siloed or linear approach to solving our global grand challenges instead of taking a systemic approach to solving our global grand challenges. And really, if we would apply all those methods to reduce food waste at the same time and work on those ones that we can as a system, then that would have the biggest impact to draw it down. But if you were to pick one, it would be not to create the waste in the first place. We waste food, we waste water, we waste harvesting time, planning, logistics, transportation, marketing, packaging, and the initial resources and emissions that went into producing that food. But then when we throw it away, it turns the top way, it turns into methane, which is 80 times more effective at trapping heat and as a greenhouse gas than CO2 in the short-term effect. And just in 2020, the beginning of the year, in the first and second quarters, we've seen reports come out that we've misunderstood how big of an impact that methane has on our greenhouse gas emissions and on our world through food waste, and that we've undercalculated that big impact. So it's not just a 40% waste, it's an exponential waste, and on a planet of finite resources, that's something that we truly need to get into control of and fix.
Properly reducing food waste, and we tell more about it, is the best option we all have, is to mitigate climate change. But if you look at, there is no individual country in the world that has food waste mentioned as a concrete solution in their NDCs, in their strategies to reduce climate emissions. We have work to do. While the evidence is piling up that food waste reduction is the best thing we can do. And the same is true for biodiversity preservation. The best option is to not lose and waste our food. And the reason for doing that is not the direct impact, because that's been talked about a lot. It's like if we waste the food, we directly throw out the energy and the input being reduced. But it is about we can use the land or preserve the land and all the resources if we don't have to produce the food. We know that in Europe, we waste about 88 million tons of food per year. What's the value and how the distribution is across the supply chain. And also looking at what's the direct impact, for example, in greenhouse gas emissions being 6% of total emissions in Europe. But that's only the direct impact that is utilized to use and to produce the food that we don't need. Suppose we take climate change serious, what are the best interventions and actions we can take? And based on the latest update in 2020, it tells that reduced food waste is the best thing, the highest on the list. But if you look at the 5 top areas of the 100 they examined, they're all related to food. We have sufficient food. There's 3 reasons why at the end we don't have sufficient food. One is food loss. Second is food waste. And the third, impact-wise, the largest one, we feed so much food to animals. While animals can take and upcycle the things we don't eat. And that was originally there, but that's I think we lost it somewhere in the development of this sector, that is a crucial role that animals can play, along with the discussions on how much animal proteins we should eat. This group of farmers, including this factory, can produce now 1,000 hectares less of carrots while supplying to all of their customers because they don't have waste in their process. And I think these are the game changers.
There are numerous types of sustainable agriculture, and why I want to link that with food waste and food loss is because there's a clear advantage about these farming systems and the link to food loss and food supply. But I think we still have a lot of work to do to see how we can move our food waste losses to feed animals so that we're not cutting down immense parts of the rainforest to grow soya. When it comes to composting, this is a key element for organic farmers and other sustainable farmers. Organic farmers are prohibited from using any artificial fertilizers or any other chemical pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, etc. So they are very much focused on ensuring that the soil is healthy, vibrant, and living. 25% of our biodiversity is in the soil, and organic farmers are ensuring that this soil stays vibrant and healthy, so we can feed people in 200, 300 years from that same piece of land.
We are, first of all, only buying what we need every day. So we get our deliveries, vegetable deliveries every day. And we already know from our calendar how many guests we will have from our reservation calendar, and then we can calculate how much food we approximately need. So we only buy what we need. Then when we create our menu, we already think about ways how to use everything of the, for example, vegetables that we have. So we make broths, we make ferments, we make soups. We try to use basically everything of the food that we buy.